Okay, this is a heavy lesson, if you will, but maybe one of the most important of the entire course thus far. When there is a dispute between or there are conflicts or whatever between us as the general contractor and you, the client, we want to resolve this relationally. We want it to be something that we can have open and honest communication between you and us and resolve and come up with a solution that we can do that is beneficial to both parties and doesn't require us as the contractor taking the full hit if it wasn't something we were responsible for, or if there was a communication issue or whatever that was not within our area of control. We are, like we've talked about to this point, there's tons of things that are tons of variables that go into creating this final project. And so us being on the same page, us being in a goodwill relationship with each other, and being able to talk about the resolution in a common way. And we have to resist that urge to view each other in the most uncharitable light. We have to maintain that ability to be in relationship and have goodwill. And that can be incredibly hard when money's involved, when there are mistakes made by lower level laborers, or there's inconveniences, or there's delays. And the reality is that when we continue to escalate and not show goodwill to each other and not work things out directly between us with clear and honest communication, everybody suffers in the process. And so it is both parties have to be committed to resolve things together. That being said, sometimes it is almost impossible for people to be charitable in certain situations, which is one of the reasons why we have this course. We talk about it. We agree that we're going to resolve it together. That being said, there are other ways to resolve this via arbitration, via mediation, whether there is a third party that can come in. We've sometimes used the inspection department as being the kind of third party that can cause things. We've gone to maybe other people in the community that are outside of it that we can discuss, because sometimes it just helps to have one particular time that was doing an FHA home loan, the inspector for the actual bank coming out and saying, look at all the work, that extra work that Transform's done here. Can you agree to pay for half of it? And Transform, will you take a cut? And agreeing to that, and them shaking hands there with the bank inspector as the thing, and then them not paying any of it. And those are reasons why I mentioned we don't do the bank loans, because they essentially just didn't want to step in and do that. So there's, those are things that are coming to this job that Transform has experience with, but we aren't going to put that experience with that most negative client in the past on you, and we're going to resist the urge to view you in that light, because we are intending to maintain that goodwill. But there is, we need to be committed to do that, and if we are committed to doing that, from Transform's perspective, there's no reason that this has to get escalated beyond that point, because we are willing to make it right. We're willing to accept responsibility, and we're willing to bear some of the financial responsibility to do that, and err on bearing it ourselves if it is unclear, or it is likely that was our responsibility. We're not going to split hairs about it. If it was something that we should have done or we missed, we're going to make it right and commit to that. Then, in my experience, in all the years doing business, that the only people that win when lawyers are involved are the lawyers. They are a high rate. They are not financially incentivized to resolve it quickly. They are getting paid hourly if the dispute goes many years, it's actually financially beneficial for them, and they can also kind of have their own kind of, in a small town, dislikes for these other attorneys. And so they're like kind of can get competitive with each other on our dimes while trying to actually resolve. So I usually view them as the nuclear option, if you will. And I don't want to go to that level ever, because I don't want to actually obligate my clients to paying their bills if I need to use them, which is essentially where we're at in our contract, saying that if we have to get an attorney to actually get you to uphold the terms of payment or whatever, that it's going to be the responsibility of you to pay that back. That being said, that drags things out. That costs way more than it needs to. And we don't want to do any of that. We want to get the job finished for you. Even when you are maybe being a little bit unreasonable, we still want to get the job finished for you. We want to maintain a professional environment. We want to get you there. So hopefully that's a little bit of a light on how we approach that and what we want to do, and how anyone that you should hire should want to talk about that.